Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the rapporteur, Giorgio Gori, for the effective work that he's doing, and also thank you to all the esteemed colleagues for the quality of the debate we are having this morning. I want to focus on the issue of energy prices. We need to face reality. European gas prices have always been more expensive than American gas prices. And this is due to one thing that we as MEPs cannot change: geology. Germany is not Texas. There is no vast quantities of fossil gas. The US is the #1 producer of oil and gas in the world. They will remain so for the next decades, most likely for this entire century, to be honest, while our gas reserves are going down. We are now importing 90% of our gas and 97% of our oil. The price gap between the US and Europe, the price gap when it comes to gas has increased, especially since the summer of 2021. And it has increased because of one man, Vladimir Putin, who chose to cut gas supply to Europe, to create inflation, to weaken our industry, to weaken our democracy, to weaken our resolve to stand with whoever is standing against Vladimir Putin, first and foremost Ukraine. And the future when it comes to European gas prices will be worse. That's why I did ask to have an ITRE hearing precisely on this, to have a foresight hearing that projects us into the future, and when we will realize that gas prices will increase in the future for Europe. We don't know to what extent. There will be different scenarios, but these will be always bad scenarios in terms of gas prices. And in the US, gas prices will remain very low because Trump is in power. He drills baby drills. Doesn't care about the environment, doesn't care even about American citizens, just care about drilling gas. And so therefore, in that situation, Trump will also use our dependence on liquefied natural gas to threaten us and therefore lead to even higher gas prices in Europe. However, electricity prices in Europe are still largely reasonable for the industry. That's another ITRE hearing that I did ask in order to have an analysis, not EU-US, but the 27 member states and the 50 states in the US, because the US, ladies and gentlemen, there is no American electricity grid. There are different American electricity grids. Texas is not connected to the rest of the US. The price of electricity is different there. And so we know, for instance, that the price for electricity in our industry in France is cheaper than in New England and in other US states. So we need to have that more, let's say, granular understanding. And what we know is that some EU member states already are better in terms of electricity prices for the industry than some US states. And the US electricity price will increase because Trump is banning offshore wind, which makes no economic sense whatsoever, that's just ideology, and because the Americans have a very bad electricity grid. There is a lot of power cuts that are harmful, obviously, for the industry and also for the digital sector. So what we need to do in the context of this resolution and more globally here in the European Union is to increase electricity supply, wind, solar, geothermal, ocean energy, osmotic energy, nuclear for the countries that choose it. We need to have innovative pricing system, and the resolution is very good on that regard. PPA, power purchase agreement, contract for difference, and we need obviously to invest in our grid. So to conclude, to save our industry, we need more electricity.